Have you ever felt like life is just moving a little too fast? You wake up, you go to work, get back home, scroll a little bit, and then a week has just passed by. That's exactly how I felt a year ago. Everything was blending in, and that's when I decided to pick up my camera and start recording just little pieces of my day. Not to make content, not to go viral, just to notice my life a little bit more. And honestly, it has been one of the best things I've ever done. So I work a 9 to 5, nothing fancy. Most days are pretty routine. And one day I just thought, what if I actually start filming this season of my life? And I just had one goal. I just wanted to be able to feel a little bit more present. I wanted to just take days in a slower type of way. Most of the times it just feels that I'm basically in autopilot, meaning I wake up on a Monday to go to work and then I just close my eyes and it's already Sunday. Basically get ready to go to work again for the next week. So I started filming little things like getting coffee, taking the dogs out, having lunch, going and playing pickleball, going to the gym. And I'm not gonna lie, it felt pretty weird at first. Like I didn't feel comfortable with the camera. But after a while, it just felt like I was basically just writing on a journal, just going over my day to day. I'll take some time also to pause and just speak to the camera about how I was feeling, how things were going. And I'll be honest, the beginning is the hardest part. My first clips were super shaky, the lighting was off, the audio was horrible. That is something that I'm still working on my day to day, not gonna lie. But after you start, you just notice those specific little things and you start making changes. And I'll be honest, the beginning is the hardest part. My first clips were shaky, the camera was off, the lighting was horrible, the audio was not good at all. But yeah, after a while, you just start noticing on those small details and you basically start making the necessary changes. I'm a person that believes that the best way to learn is basically to just practice. So the moment you start is the best way for you to notice those specific small changes you need to make later on. But that's the point. The idea of you documenting your life isn't about being perfect. It is actually about being present. And I promise, the moment that I stopped worrying about how it looked and I focused more on how it felt for me was when everything changed. Like I started noticing just the small details. A walk to the store, a quiet evening at home, the sunrise while I was watching movies on my living room. Things I used to overlook suddenly started to feel special. Documenting helped me slow down, take a breath. It made me more mindful, more grateful. And when I actually look back, now I have this collection of small moments that reminds me how last year actually felt like. If you've been thinking about documenting your life, here are some tips that help me get started. First, start with what you have. You don't need a fancy camera. I always thought that I should wait because I didn't have the necessary gear, when in reality, you just need a phone. If I would have known this, I would have probably started 2, 3 years ago instead of basically waiting until last year to get into the hobby. So you don't need anything fancy. If you already have a camera, then that's perfect. But if you have a phone, that should be more than enough. Second, film the small stuff. You'll actually be surprised, but at least for me, the moments that I enjoy the most are those specific moments that initially you might think, oh, they're not even worth taking a video of. It could be just you sitting down with your partner watching TV. It could be your dogs running around. It could be the sunrise while it basically hits your window. Those small details, in one way or the other, you actually find extreme value when you go back to them. Tip number 3 will be keep the editing simple. So this is basically one of the most intimidating parts of getting into filming or videography overall. Most of you, if you're starting, you have no idea of how to edit. That was basically me back then. It's still me now. My recommendation will be keep it as simple as possible. You don't need fancy editing to start documenting your life. So start small. I promise you that after a while, you're gonna get more comfortable with the editing software and your videos are definitely gonna improve, but that's gonna come with time. And that should not be a factor that impedes you to start creating. Another tip that I'll have is make the videos for you. Make sure that you are enjoying what you're filming. At first, nobody cares what you're posting. Most of the time, again, you're doing this because you want to be able to look back and just remember. So focus on making this process a fun experience. Focus on capturing the important details for you. My last tip will be patient. There is a learning curve, so you just gotta be patient with yourself. And the more that you blog, the more that you film, the more that you edit, I promise you, the more comfortable you're actually gonna feel. Imagine a year from now, you being able to look back at specific moments in your life, the quiet mornings, moments that make you laugh. And that's what documenting gives you. It gives you a moment of remembering who you were and how your life really felt. So if you've been waiting for the right time, maybe this is it. Start with one clip today and remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be yours. Thanks again for spending this time with me. I hope this motivates you to start documenting your own story because your life, exactly how it is right now, it's worth remembering. See you in the next one.